All right, so I guess I'm gonna sit down here and talk about myself, huh? All right, cue the music. Yo, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, red button down below that says subscribe. That way you're notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, indoor percussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now also make sure that notification bell is ringing as well. That way for sure you'll be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe, make sure that notification bell is ringing, and let's get the video. Okay, so you're probably noticing that, I'm a little bit more subdued today in this video vlog because I might. So I don't have to kind of like speak my normal big Carl drum tech sound, but I do like to speak with conviction. So that's something you want to make sure you practice as well. So it's a good life lesson for sure to speak with conviction, to speak with a big voice, and to let yourself be heard. But I guess the point of this talk right now is just kind of like, tell you a little bit more about myself. Maybe you've surmise something based on the videos that you've seen, whether that's on YouTube here or on Instagram. But I just kind of want to give you a little bit background of who I am, so you can kind of get to know me a little bit better. And what else do we have these days that we have in abundance, which is time, right? Like I don't know how much traveling you guys get to do or how much work or school you get to go to, but in these times I find myself having a lot of time sitting at home reflecting and stuff like that. So not saying I'm not busy. I'm just saying that there's a lack of human connection, and maybe there's a good way for us to connect from one human being to another, kind of see where I'm coming from, where my background is, and maybe you can share some of yours in the comments, and let's open up the dialogue basically. So let me just give you a quick rundown of everything, my background, and some people have asked what my actual resume is, where I've marched and stuff like that. So let's get right to it. So I was born in the Philippines, basically in a city called Quezon City. I moved to America when I was 8 years old. So English is not my first language. However, I did learn a lot of English in the Philippines, so that when I did move here when I was about 8 years old, this is back like the late 80s, something like that. So it just kind of shows you what my age is. But I learned English in the Philippines, so therefore when I came here it was a smooth transition. Most people couldn't detect an accent or anything like that. So and I always spoke English in the Philippines anyway, so I guess that's where my skills in English comes from. And so I lived here, moved to the South Bay in Los Angeles, California. It's lived in a suburb called Redondo Beach, and then moved to Torrance. Went through all the school districts here. I didn't really go much else except Redondo Beach and Torrance. Didn't do much traveling in terms of like seeing the world and stuff like that. So I lived here in the US most of my life. The only time I got to travel really is like when I started doing like drum corps and stuff like that. So I marched at a group called Impulse, and they were a open class group, Division II or Division III group, whatever it was back in the day. And finally got to tour around the country and stuff like that a little bit. And then once I taught at Troopers, so I ended up teaching at the Troopers as the tenor tech from about 2002 to about 2004. I was the tenor tech over there, and then I taught at Impulse as well in 05, and then 06, 07 I taught Gold. So, but Troopers was the first real tour experience for me, really getting to see the country. But anybody who's marched drum corps knows that you just get to see a lot of high school gyms and high school stadiums and quickie marts. That's pretty much it, right? So, but then after that, even then I didn't do a lot of traveling. But throughout all that, my passions has always been drums, percussion, teaching drums. I taught at the high school where I went to at Torrance High School for many, many years. I went to school for 4 years, and as soon as I graduated, I volunteered my services to be an instructor. And in volunteering, I didn't expect to get paid, but I gave enough value and taught enough to where it's like they're like, all right, let's pay you now. So they paid me a little bit of money, which is great. And then that turned into, all right, you want to be the guy now? You want to be the caption head? You want to be the head instructor? Cool, great, I'll take that too. So that's what started my teaching journey. So I've always been into teaching. I probably love teaching more than I do drumming and playing. Just the act of like, showing kids and showing students, some things that I've learned, things that have been helpful to me. Get a chance to kind of like explore like how I, understand something and just, break stuff down to where like, okay, once I've broken it down, let me show it to somebody. Let me show some students how to do this. And then it's always so gratifying when they take those concepts and they grow and they get better. And it's just like, it's so satisfying. There's nothing like it in the world. There's no other feeling like it in the world. So teaching is one of my #1 passions, which is why, I did the Carl Drum Tech thing, started social media accounts, just to devote myself to kind of teaching and sharing my knowledge to the next generation of percussionists. And I guess I gained a following thanks to that. So thank you if you're following me here on either YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, wherever you're seeing this video. But yeah, and then I've always had other passions, like, I love the Lakers, the team here, the basketball team here in Los Angeles. I do love Vegas. There was one point in time where, basically for 3 straight years, I went to Vegas 7 times each year. So I love gambling. I love, I don't have a problem, all right? I love to have a good time. I love to play card games. I love to play poker and blackjack, things like that. But then I also like to party. So I like to go to clubs over there, whether that's a nightclub or day club, just love it, love to party. And, so besides that, I also like traveling, I found out. Probably like 3 years ago, I started traveling a little bit more, and I'm talking like outside the country. So it's like, my first time traveling outside the US was like, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. And I went back to my homeland of the Philippines. So for me, it was like, wow, it's like, this is a strangely different place, but strangely familiar because I was born there. I was there for 8 years or whatever, right? But it's literally the first time since, I left. So I've been gone for like over 30 years, something like that. Before that, I actually went to Singapore. So I went to Singapore before that. So that was my first taste of really seeing another country. Awesome stuff. And then went to Japan the year after. Then I got to see Thailand and Hong Kong. So I've always wanted to travel more, even just in the last couple of months before COVID hit. I wanted to make it a goal to like spend 1 week in a city. Like, for example, I went to New York. I'd love to hang out in Vegas for a week. I'd love to hang out in Seattle for a week, something like that. But obviously COVID put a stop to those plans. But that's something I wanted to do more of, is just to travel, to see more places, live in an area for a little bit, and kind of like expose myself to these new experiences, because I only have so much time in this world, right? And as we get older, I don't know if it's just getting an older thing, but we should always be thinking about how much time is such a precious commodity. We don't have a lot of it. Just think about like how you only have a few years to march in high school, and then you only have a few years to march like eligibility of drum corps and indoor percussion and indoor outside groups and independent groups and things like that. And then that's it, it's over, right? And for those of us who have aged out and stuff like that, that the time goes by quickly. So imagine that, right? Just a little bit bigger with life, right? So you're born, hopefully you get to live to a ripe old age of 90 or 100, but even then, time's gonna go by quickly. So, and we only get one chance at this, we only get one shot at this, and I'd like to try to get as much as I can out of this life, as much experience as I can out of this life. And at the end, I want to be able to say, just like, you do marching band, you do drum corps, you're really working towards the DVD, or you're working towards the recording at the end, that finals performance, and then that's the thing you get to keep and savor. It's like, yeah, look at this, we created this DVD, this video, right? So I want to be able to have like when I'm on my deathbed, sorry to get dark, but on my deathbed, thinking about like the highlight reel of my life and just being able to say, wow, that was fucking epic. That is my goal in this life. It's just at the end, I want to be able to say, that was the shit. And that's the kind of thing I want to bring to my videos. So it's not just about teaching you guys flam drags and book reports and cheeses and how to do puttidas, triple diddle off the left. Yes, all that stuff is fun. I love it. And the more I get to share that with as many of you as possible, the better. But there's a little life in there, right? There's a little life teachings I'm trying to infuse into those, rudiments, into those patterns, into those things that I'm trying to teach you. For example, just like, if you practice, you work hard enough, you'll get good at something. You'll get good at drums. So, you got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort if you want something, if you want to achieve your goals, no matter how lofty they are, you have to take steps in order to get there. So that's a little life lesson there for you. So cool. I think I've rambled on enough. Hopefully you guys got a little bit of background into who I am, what I'm about, and what my experience is. So there you go. Now you know. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I get to sit down and talk to you one-on-one. And if you'd like to share your experiences and what you thought of this video, please share that in the comments below. So in conclusion, I'd just like to say, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a huge favor, hit that like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, like to add to this conversation, leave that in the comments below as well. Tell me a little bit about yourself, but hopefully you've enjoyed hearing my story. And if you have not subscribed yet, after I told you to subscribe, make sure you subscribe right now. It's that red button down below. And we'll have more conversations like this. And if you feel like this video could be interesting to somebody, please do share this video on your social media platforms. I would really appreciate that for sure. So cool. If there's anything else you'd like to know more about, to get to know me a little bit better, leave that in the comments below, leave a question, and then I'll try to answer it in the future video. Maybe just a teaching video, a drumming video. Let me know, and then we'll talk some more. All right, cool. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. You should watch more of my videos by clicking over here and then subscribing over here. Peace. I'll catch you guys in the next video.